everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
I didn't expect the silence. It sounded like there was more to that.
Yeah, I know. See, I was legitimately thinking to myself, like, I always say, hey, everybody, and I'll go on like this whole freaking, like, not really tirade, but I'll just start talking and talking and talking and talking. So I'm like, let's test the waters this time. What if I just say, hey, everybody, and just let it sit?
See what happens. Now you know nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happens. No, I figured that's probably what would happen. Like, okay, Mal's gonna get his energy going. He's gonna start introducing us. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot. Uh, but hi, I'm Mal. I don't know if we introduce ourselves at the start of every podcast anymore, but hi, that's me.
Oh, you said who is Mal again? Just to make sure.
I
Mal
don't
is,
know. I forgot.
yeah. Yeah, Mal is the guy with the duck avatar that you can't see on your screen right now.
It's
But
true.
but yes, that is me. And I'm also the guy with Do I have the highest pitched voice here or is it Trevor? I'm not actually sure which.
I thought it was gonna be me, honestly.
I have no idea. I'm the one that always gets mistaken for a lady when I go to fast food restaurants, though. So
Yeah, at least for you, like if it's a lady, which I don't personally see it, but I imagine if you did get mistaken, it probably would be like for a lady of like a different age. You know, like
I,
probably that's what I imagine.
I've talked about this on the podcast before, right?
Yeah.
I had to. Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
talked
thought
about
so. It's because I pitch my voice up when I'm ordering there to
Mhm.
be nice, or instead of like I'd like cheeseburger, I'd be like, "Hi, I'd like a cheeseburger." So I always get called ma'am.
Wow. Yeah, it doesn't help that oftentimes I imagine those drive-through windows have really shitty mics on them.
Oh yeah, I had a friend that worked there. She said it's so hard to understand people over those.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those things are not quality.
But yeah, you guys introduce yourselves because I guess I already set the precedent for this podcast.
I'm Trevor, and I like cheeseburgers.
I am Vino, and I like cats.
I never would have guessed from your persona, which again you guys can't see, but it's a snow leopard if you don't know.
What?
Yeah.
A snow leopard's a cat? Oh,
I
dang, I
said
didn't know
hats, not
that.
cats.
I thought you said cats. Okay, I guess I'm just projecting
That's why I
them.
was really confused. I was like, what does snow leopards have to do with hats?
I totally heard cat too.
I'd have a little stumble in my voice. So, what did you hear, audience? Did you had a cat? It's like those like fucking. Was it just blue or white or whatever the fuck that was?
Guys,
We're
guys,
we're
guys.
asking, but we can't really respond to you.
The guys, comedy gold coming in 3, 2, 1. What do you think about cats in hats?
Jim Carrey.
That's the correct answer. Like I
Wait,
didn't know
no,
what the correct.
wait,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey wasn't the Cat in the Hat.
Was he not?
No, he
No,
wasn't. He wasn't.
he
But
was the
he
Grinch.
played. But he played Horton in Horton Hears a Who,
Wait, who
which
played the
is this.
cat?
Okay, no, no. That was why the fuck can't I remember his fucking name? Like people, like
Oh,
I want to. Why can't I remember his
I
fucking
could have
name?
sworn it was Jim
Mike
Carrey.
Myers. Mike Myers.
Oh,
It was Mike.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the only thing he didn't do that wasn't Shrek or Wayne.
Yeah. Or yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Jim Carrey is always the correct answer in my mind. uh,
Jim
but
Carrey, the Grinch, Eggman, he plays it all.
yeah. I think. Let me think. What's my favorite role? I still think my favorite role from him is Ace Ventura. I don't think that can be beat. Okay, did that?
He was the
Go on.
perfect Riddler. I mean, when I think of Batman's Riddler, I think of like this crazy guy that's dancing everywhere and laughing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I gotta go back. I gotta go back and watch Batman Forever because I saw it when I was a little kid and I didn't really know who the fuck Jim Carrey was. So it was just like,
I've never seen the movie in full. I've only seen like the very ending of it, and like watching the characters just prance around the stage was the weirdest thing to me. You got like Jim Carrey dancing with his cane, and you've got Two-Face acting like a clown, being like as he runs to go try and kill Batman. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, Batman Forever is an interesting weird film. I wouldn't say like weird by Batman standards, but like it's got contradictions. Like they try to say that Two-Face is the one who killed Batman's parents, but like in the first movie with Michael Keaton, they were saying that Joker killed his parents. So it's really weird. Yeah, it's a very goofy film. It is not as goofy as Batman and Robin, but it's like working its way up into that.
I never actually watched the movie, but I have played the Batman Forever video game.
I was talking about that with a friend recently, and I had very faint memories of it. I didn't remember it hard, but when I went back and watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I played this game a little bit. I don't know if I beat the first level. I think I used like a Game Shark code to kind of skip around in the game. And I figured out how to use one of the weapons on my own and nothing else.
That's
And I didn't know anything about it. And then my friend was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, to use the weapons, you have to actually input like fatalities from Mortal Kombat, a similar structure,
yeah,
and they don't tell you anything about how to do it.
it's such a poorly designed game. Like to use the grappling hook, you have to like things like you have to hit like R and up, but you have to hit up slightly before you hit R, otherwise it just won't work. There's so much convoluted dumb shit in that game, and if anyone got past, if anyone ever tells you they got past the first level without a guy to like teach you anything, they're a fucking liar.
It
Well, I
is
can't get
crazy.
past. What I can't get past is, and this is something I literally just now thought about. Why the fuck is the movie called Batman Forever?
Because it's gonna go on forever.
Well, you
I
got
I
me
don't
there.
I don't know. I don't know. I never really thought about it that much. It just seemed like, oh
It's
yeah, I like Batman, so here's the movie called Batman Forever.
it just kind of spun the subtitle wheel, and it just happened to land on forever.
Yeah, because at least Batman and Robin, I mean, it's like Robin's in the movie a lot.
Yeah.
So, it's like at least it makes sense. I mean, it's a shitty movie, but at least the title makes like sense and there's a clear line of logic. With Batman Forever, it's just like we gave up.
It's just the movie thing of just the wheel of subtitles like forever, even begins, revelations. There's so much on
Yeah.
that wheel.
And
Batman
see,
Revelations.
I can see that happening too.
but
Yeah.
at least Batman Begins was actually like talking about how Bruce Wayne becomes Batman, or like I will tell you though, like it's weird how the second film in the Nolan series is called The Dark Knight, and then the
Yeah.
third one's called The Dark Knight Rises. Like
Yeah.
you'd think the second one would be called The Dark Knight Rises, and then the third one would be The Dark Knight. It's weird. I don't understand
Oh,
movie titles.
yeah, that's a good point.
He was taking a nap.
So I will say this though. The very first Batman movie that I ever did see was The Dark Knight. I
Hmm.
never saw any Batman film before that. I think I watched The Dark Knight, then Batman Begins, and then The Dark Knight Rises. As a kid, I saw the earlier films. Like my family was watching it on TV, and I kind of like sat in there for a second, and then I left the room. So
Hmm.
I only caught like bits and pieces, and never like actually watched them.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I actually did watch them in order as a kid. I was watching them when I was around, I think like 11 or 12, to where I could technically follow the plots, but I really
Hmm.
couldn't appreciate it all that much. So I kind of got to go back and watch them. But I think I technically did watch them in order, which is just, I guess, yay me.
The only one I ever saw was the original Batman. What the fuck's the guy's name who made it?
Michael Keaton is the one who played Batman,
The
and then it
one,
was directed by Tim Burton, I
the Tim
think.
Burton, the original Tim Burton one. I saw the first half of it, and I will tell you, I've retained zero knowledge of it. I don't know why. Everything Batman, I start and then never finish. Like I did that with the original Batman. I did it with Arkham Asylum. I did it with Lego Batman. I don't know what it is
Wow.
with me and Batman. Where I just can't finish it. It's not like I don't like it. I just don't finish it.
God, I love Arkham Asylum. That was such a good game.
It was a
Yeah,
quality one.
for me, like Arkham Asylum is a good game. It's just Arkham City, in my opinion, improved on everything so much that kind of by comparison now, Arkham Asylum just isn't like quite up to snuff. I mean, it's still a solid game, but just like it's kind of been outdone by like the later games. So I'm kind of left with less of a reason to go back to it, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I still would say that I like it more than Arkham Knight, though. Arkham Knight has some good plot elements that I do actually really like in that game. I just really hate the gameplay in that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one always
Uh,
seems the
uh,
weakest.
A lot of that has to do with the forced car segments. Like,
Hmm.
Arkham Knight is really fun when you're running around as Batman using his gadgets. The Batmobile had potential to be cool, but all it ended up being was strafe left and right as you shoot tanks. And it
See,
takes way too long, and it's done way too often and repetitively. And the Batmobile never goes as fast as it needs to. Why am I going faster in Need for Speed with a goddamn car when the Batmobile has turbo engines on it, blasting fire out the rear of it? And I feel like I'm going 30 miles per hour down the street. I hate it. I hate it so much.
well, I like the car segments. I guess the reason why they didn't make the car race fast is because the open world is smaller, and like if they made it go too fast, it'd be too much. But Needs for Speed gives you like way more open spaces.
It does. It's so frustrating seeing fire
Yeah.
constantly come out of it, and I feel like I'm crawling.
I see what you mean. Like, I will tell you, I like the car segments, but the tank segments, they were cool for like 2 missions. And then it's like, okay, I get the idea. We don't need any more of these. And there's like, it feels like there's like 20 in the whole game. And I'm like, okay, I'm like done. Like, that started to drag. So I'm with you with like the strafe left, strafe right, shoot mechanics.
Man, you know what's really sad is a lot of people didn't like Origins comparatively. I think Origins is really good cinematically. Like they handled that phenomenally. But it kind of drug in other areas.
Hmm.
But goddamn, the fight with Slade was really fun and cinematic in Origins, and it is just a piece of shit in Night. He's in a big tank, and you shoot the smaller tanks, and then you shoot the bigger tank, and then Slade loses. And I'm like, really? You're gonna do that with Slade? Why?
Yeah, I did not like that. I totally forgot about the Slade fight and Origins because that was what was really fucking cool. And now that I was okay with like the fight in Night, but now that I'm remembering the fight in Origins, I'm kind of like, yeah, that was kind of shitty by comparison. Jesus.
Slade is such a bad villain outside of anything that's the Teen Titans show.
No, no, no. The one exception to that is in the Arrowverse, because like in
Okay, I haven't seen them in that, so
okay, Arrow, watch the first 2 seasons. Don't watch anything else. The first two seasons are fucking awesome. Season 3 is and everything after season 3 is just fucking no.
Can I
It's
just
fan
say,
fiction.
that's the most like CW thing I've ever heard.
CW is like all over the place with its shows. Like sometimes they nail it so good, and then other times it's like, what the hell happened?
It's like always like
Yeah.
the first like few seasons of the show. I was like, okay, this is pretty good, and then it's always like goes to shit.
I watched Flash with a friend, and I really like Flash as a superhero. He's not my favorite, but I find him really interesting because they have other brooding superheroes over stuff.
Yeah.
And Flash also isn't Superman, who is like perfect and virtuous, but Flash has a different dynamic to him where he has some serious stuff happen to him, but he's usually pretty lighthearted about it. And I watched CW's Flash, and overall I like it, but god damn if he's not like a brooding teenager. Like almost like consistently for 10 episodes at the start, he's always like, my dad was arrested when I was younger. My mom died. It's like, yeah, I get it by this point. I know. I've been watching for 10 episodes.
Trevor,
I'm
you are speaking my language. The joke that I would always make with my friends is it's like every other episode, Barry's sitting on the stairs. He's like, Joe, I'm just not fast enough, Joe. I, cou- I,
God.
cou- I couldn't save him, Joe. I couldn't do it. I wasn't fast enough. No, it's okay, Bear. It's okay, Bear. You got this. You got this. Everyone needs you, Bear. It's like every other episode, this shit happens.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I liked season 1, and then from there it just got worse. But like season 1 still has problems with them being overly dramatic like that. Like over the course of the series, Barry's like, "Oh, I can go back in time and save my mom. That's not a good idea to mess with the time stream." And then he goes back and does it anyway. And then he goes back and stops himself from doing it in the first place. And
Yeah.
like then you gets into some really fucky stuff with the time stream since they're trying to scientifically explain everything. And then like later he ends up getting, I can't remember if he's in another dimension so people's personalities are slightly different, but they take the comic relief character that was one of the best parts of the show because everything else was too dreary, and they make him super serious and hate Flash, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know that episode you're talking about. I think that was actually one of the last episodes I saw before I just got sick of the show. Was it? I'm trying to remember who was like angry and brooding in the alternate universe. Was it Cisco?
Yeah,
Um,
that was it. That was
yeah,
it.
yeah. My experience watching the show was just like yours. It was a solid show. I saw 2 seasons, but I could already see it starting to decline. And then I think what really broke me, the worst character in Arrow, her name is Felicity Smoke.
Uh-huh.
She shows up in an episode of The Flash, and she basically just gets treated like a queen for absolutely no reason. And I was just like, yep, okay, so the Flash has just basically become Arrow now. That's great. Like, yay. It's an okay show. I would honestly say, like Arrow, watch the first 2 seasons, but Arrow's first 2 seasons are way fucking better than the Flash's first 2 seasons. Like Arrow first
Yeah.
2 seasons, legitimately really good show.
To be
Flash is pretty
fair,
good.
even though I have like I haven't seen Arrow, just from the previews I've seen of it, it looked really good. I thought it was going to go in the direction of something like Daredevil that Marvel was putting out on Netflix. That show was, oh my god, it was good. I fell off of it after a while, but that was a really dark take on Daredevil. Like,
Yeah.
have either of y'all seen it?
I have not.
Yes. Yeah. My opinion, best superhero show out there. Daredevil. Like that's, and I think the reason why I liked the first 2 seasons of Arrow is because it's very similar to that in a way, at least in tone. Yes, it's very gritty, but it doesn't let the writing slack off from that. Like it's not like it's a cop out or like it's just a stylistic choice they made to get views. They actually make it work. So yeah, I completely agree. I love that show.
I really like how they showed Kingpin in that show. I felt genuinely uncomfortable every time Kingpin was on the stage because you didn't know what he was going to do. He had a temper, it would only come out sometimes, and he killed people very brutally. Like they did a great job with Kingpin. Holy shit, I loved Kingpin in that. I always felt really uncomfortable when he was there. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
scene that I really like, um, I've seen this a lot in superhero stuff, and it kind of gets on my nerves at this point where they're like, we can't kill anyone because we're the good guys. And I'm just sick of it because the bad guys are always trying to kill them, and they're like, well, I'm not going to kill you. It's like, dude, self defense. You are justified. You can do this. But I just hate it because it's so overdone in every superhero thing. I don't mind if that's Daredevil's thing, and I don't mind if it's Batman's thing. I'm sick of seeing every superhero follow that. But regardless, the as annoying as some of the Punisher and Daredevil stuff back and forth was, I really liked the episode where Daredevil has his hands tied up, Punisher's taking him hostage, and he manages to knock the Punisher out and has to get through a building with all of this biker gang coming up to kill him because Punisher like blew up all of their bikes and they're pissed
Oh,
off.
oh
And
my God. Yeah.
that scene, most of it, a huge part of that scene is all one camera shot, and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the scene that is everywhere on fucking YouTube, and for good fucking reason. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. Oh my God. But yeah, if there's any superhero show I can recommend to you guys out there, I'm with Trevor. Daredevil's really fucking good, and my second, I guess, would be the first two seasons of Arrow. And if you're like in the mood for a decent show, watch the first two seasons of Flash. That's basically my recommendation there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There you go.
Do you have any superhero shows you like, Vino?
Yeah.
The only superhero show I watched two. Uh, One was Iron Man Armored Adventures. I don't know if everyone else saw that show.
Nah, unfortunately.
No, I
It was,
haven't.
it was a show on Nicktoons exclusive to that. It's surprisingly good. It's like Iron Man, but he's in high school, but it's done surprisingly well. And then also the '90s X-Men cartoon that I marathoned one week.
I oh god, hang on, I've got to look this up. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen memes of the '90s X-Men cartoon before, but I haven't watched it. I have heard some good things about it
Oh,
though.
it's a
I can
great
tell you
show.
that.
I love this. I love this. So I watched it. I was sick for a week, so I had to stay home from school. So I just the whole series. I don't think it's up there anymore, but it was all on YouTube for free. Some guy posted it, so I just marathoned it. Quality show and one of the best TV intros of all time. I will die on that hill.
Fuck me,
Oh,
man.
that's what it was called. Sorry. X-Men Evolution. That's the cartoon show I saw.
I was one I think that came after the '90s one, and that was like the quote unquote like pseudo sequel to it.
I really liked that one. It was really fun.
That one I heard good things about. I never saw that one, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, I heard similar things about Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I still haven't seen those shows, but I've heard people go
Oh
on about
God,
them.
yeah, they are great. Unlimited, for the most part, is also great. It kind of falls off for me at the very end. Like, for the most part, you've seen Batman the animated series, right?
Oh, I actually know the basic premise of the show because my brother's seen it and he's told me all about it.
Well, I'm speaking mainly from tone because
Mm.
Justice League carries a certain tone with it where it's very serious, but it still allows them to be cheesy or corny when it's appropriate. And
Mhm.
getting towards the end of just Unlimited, I think it was called, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, getting towards the end of that, it's way too cheesy for me. They bring back the Hall of Doom, and it just doesn't work with the tone that they had previously for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but the Cadmus art is really freaking good in Justice League. Like
yeah.
there
Mhm.
is
Go on,
there
sorry.
is sorry, there's one episode in Justice League where they go to an alternate universe and meet the Justice Lords. It's them, but it's a more tyrannical version of them because Superman has gone around lobotomizing all of the villains to put them in check. And when they go back, they vow that they're never going to be that way. And the thing that made them that way in the other universe was that Flash died, their comic relief person. But
Wow.
that single episode spawns like this whole giant arc where the government is trying to prevent that same sort of situation from happening by developing their own super weapon and stuff.
Hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about both shows. I think my brother told me that the first one was technically his preference, and I think he also did tell me about the ending being like kind of But that's been on my list. Both shows have been on my list for fucking years, man. I
Oh,
wish I could. I wish I could like talk about it more with you because yeah, I'm sure it's fucking awesome.
I know we want to talk about other stuff, but I want to mention really quick. I think this is pretty cool. Batman Beyond was airing at the same time as Justice League, and Batman Beyond never really had an ending. The show got canceled for whatever reason. And they actually had a finale episode of sorts in Justice League. There's just an entire Justice League episode, and it's all about Terry from Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I actually saw that one. That's the one episode of the show I've seen because I really wanted to see how it wrapped up.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened or why they did it or what the corporate stuff was that went on, but it seems, I should look it up. It seems to me like they just gave it closure of a sort since the show wasn't continuing.
Yeah, yeah. I can really respect that. I don't know how they got away with it, but they did. But yeah, I ain't watched like most of the superhero shows I watched when I was a teenager because I grew up watching like Sonic X and stupid shit like that. So I'm a little bit more limited. Most of the superhero shows I have seen actually are like the edgy grown up ones, but it kind of works for me.
I didn't really watch superheroes. Like, I've never been like super big on them. I'm just whatever about them. Like when I was growing up, I was just like I'd just watch old sitcoms. Like I remember my favorite when I was younger was The Nanny. It's not a good show, but I liked it.
I never heard of that one at all.
It's with Fran Dresser, whose comedy routine is she has a voice. But I remember me and my aunt got were both really into it for some reason. I watched a lot of like those like old like 60s 70s like family sitcoms like Full House, Family Matters, like all those kinds of shows.
Yeah, yeah. You're like one of my best IRL friends. He's just like that. He grew up watching a fuck ton of sitcoms, and like even to this day, whenever I hang with him, we wind up watching like fucking Family Matters constantly. Like even now, because like I will tell you, like even for me, I never even grew up watching Family Matters, for instance. It's still legitimately entertaining to watch like
Yeah, it's a quality show.
today.
Yeah, like all of those shows, like they hold up pretty well. Like for all things considered.
You know what I don't like about the show though is they always paint Carl to be the bad guy. Like Carl is mean to Steve and Steve's like, "Oh, I was just trying to help." And Carl gets angry and then like Carl learns that he needs to be, more understanding and he needs to think about yada yada yada. But every time I'm like, "Dude, fucking Carl's just living his life." Like Steve is just busted into his fucking house uninvited. He's knocking over like I don't know some freaking model Carl was working on, or like he messes up the kitchen, and then Carl naturally is like, "Steve, you need to leave," and then everyone afterwards is like, "Carl, why were you getting so angry at Steve?" It's like, fuck, hashtag Carl did nothing wrong, people.
It's the SpongeBob revelation where you identify with one character when you're a kid, and then you like realize like, oh, this other character is actually way more level-headed. And I agree. I think one of my favorite Carl moments though is when Steve invents the cloning machine. And he's just he's in the garage talking about all the stuff he's doing to clone, and he's like, and all of my unmatched socks, and he's just so happy about it.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Like no, I love stuff like that, man. Like I will tell you, I've only seen one episode of Full House though.
Okay.
And I fucking hate it.
Speaking of that, so the show, I mainly watch cartoons, and that's true even today. but I watched more sitcom stuff when I was a young kid because instead of picking and choosing, I just watched whatever the heck was on TV.
Hmm.
And if it was on TV at the time, I was watching it. So the shows I watched were like Three's Company, All in the Family, Family Matters, Brady Bunch,
Hmm.
A Full House, stuff like that. Like, I think we Full House was one of the ones we watched a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't,
I
we liked it.
I was
I am
also I like Full
wondering.
House.
Yeah, I mean, I see the appeal of Full House, but it's just so often it's like a similar thing. Like, well, the one episode I saw, it was like Joey's kids were getting a little bit rambunctious, and he's like, okay, I gotta like calm them down. I gotta he's like trying to get them to calm down, and it's not really working. And he gets to the point where, okay, well, I don't got any other choice. I gotta put him in timeout, and um and the kids, his little kids, start telling him like, "Oh, mean, you're mean," and he has like PTSD flashbacks to his kids calling him mean, like he can't deal with it.
Was it
And
Joey specifically?
I don't remember. I think
He's
it
the
was
blonde
Joey, but I'm
one.
not 100.
If that helps.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Dave Coulier.
I don't remember. It was one of the guys. I don't know people's names in the show.
I feel like
it was one of the
I
guys.
feel like it would be Joey because his whole thing was he's supposed to be like the goofy uncle fun one.
Yeah, he's not the
Yeah.
dad. He's just a friend that tries to help take care of the kids.
Yeah. It was some of the, I don't know if it was his kids, but it was kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were calling him mean. And then at the end of the episode, Joey learns that, oh no, he shouldn't have punished the kids. He should have just let them keep doing what they were doing. Like, because there was a part where the kids mess up, like one of the girls' science projects, and that was like put him over the edge. Like, okay, I gotta punish him. And like, I guess the lesson of the show is don't punish your kids or something. Like, it was weird, some shit like that.
Uh,
It's been a long time since I've seen it. That does sound like something that Joey would deal with because he'd have a
Yeah.
harder time with it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. The show, I'd have to watch it again because I think the show doesn't like go to that level with it. It's more like the kids do get punished in some episodes, but it's more about coming to an understanding than anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, I'll believe that. I've only seen one fucking episode, and that was enough to make me go, let's just go back to watching Family Matters, is basically what I said.
I know,
So,
I know that I
yeah.
didn't really care for Fuller House.
Yeah, I was not big on Full House either.
They keep trying to bring shows back, and I'm just like, stop! It never work. It never seems to work out.
I'm trying
But
to think of a show that did work out. 'Cause I know there's a few, but I'm trying to think of one.
The best one that I've seen is Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, but even that one had issues with tone and presentation because, I mean, the artist, it's been a long time since he's done it. Obviously, like, things have changed, but, like, if you look at the backgrounds in comparison, they're not as dirty, they're not as grimy. It doesn't feel like as grungy or the atmosphere is not as oppressive as it was in the original. And one of the characters is so toned down from what she used to be, Gaz.
Hmm.
Like in the show Invader Zim, Gaz she didn't care about anyone but herself, and she only cared about stuff that made her happy. So she would like use her brother or whatever to make sure that she was able to get what she wants. And she's way too nice in comparison for when they brought it back. I
Yeah.
still enjoyed it, but it just wasn't the same.
For me, like, I don't know, for me, it really did strike a chord, and I really enjoyed it. But I will tell you, yeah, Gaz was a lot nicer in that. She's oftentimes supposed to be like a sociopath almost.
Mhm.
And the movie, now she wasn't in the movie too much, so it wasn't like it was like a killing thing for me, but I do know what you mean. And I will tell you, like, even though I think the movie was successful personally, it
Mhm.
was a movie, not like a show. I think, like, if I think they're I'm not an expert here, but I imagine it's easier to pull off like a movie following up a show to like wrap it up
Yeah.
versus like, okay, we're gonna try to like, because like for example, like if you have to get all of the cast back, for instance, on a show, it's easy to do that for like a one-time thing. But if you got to be like, okay, now you got to sign up to do like three fucking seasons of this shit all over again, that's when people are gonna be
Yeah.
like, nah, man, I'm not up for that. So
Yeah.
I just remember being disappointed with Gaz because there's an episode in Invader Zim where she's watching as Zim is about to perform an operation on Dib. And
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, put your organs on the outside." And she's like, "Ooh," and she's imagining what that's going to look like, and she's interested in seeing it. And the only reason she saves him is because in her imagination, her dad tells her that they can't go to the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant because his organs are on the outside.
oh my gosh. Oh yeah. It was Bloaty's Pizza Hog. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
that was it. Yes.
And that was Dark Harvest, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, that episode, even to this day, like kind of bothers me as an adult. Like, for those who don't know, basically the premise is like Zim, who's an alien, is essentially like, oh, I want to be more human. And what's one thing that humans have that I don't? They have organs. So what I need to do is I need to take organs from people and I need to just swallow them and keep them inside of my stomach. So that way I have more organs and so I'll be more human so people won't think I'm an alien.
It was so freaking gross, and they showed like an intestine come out of his mouth at one point that he
Yeah,
absorbed
yeah.
back in.
Yeah, and like by the end of the episode, to give you guys like a visual image who haven't seen it. By the end of the episode, Zim is like this, he's like bloated, and his stomach is just filled with organs. And I bet you're thinking, how the fuck did they put that in the kids show? And the answer is, I have no fucking idea.
I just like love the nurse. "Oh, you're such a healthy boy and so full of organs." And then Dib makes a cow noise, and she's like, "It
Oh,
isn't
because and then like it's worse because when he takes the organs from the kids, he like replaces their organs with like random shit. Like I think he replaces one kid's like
human."
lung or something with a walkie-talkie, and like it's not like real life where people would just die, but it's kind of worse because like the kids just start acting really weird, like things aren't quite right, like they kind of like it's just really strange. It's like when you have a nightmare as a kid.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
a
that
good way to describe it.
yeah, Dark Harvest is like if you watch a lot of Invader Zim and then you went to sleep as a kid and you had a nightmare themed around Invader Zim. That's what the episode is.
God, what about the one episode where he just rips the kid's eyes out and they just show it in the silhouette?
Yeah, that was oh my god, that was fucking
I remember, like, now it's just like, whatever. But, like, as a kid, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm glad I didn't watch Invader Zim growing up. It's my favorite cartoon, but if I had seen that when it was airing, it would have fucked me up, man.
I did watch it while it was airing, actually. And there were some bits that definitely were like, "Oh, that's spooky."
Yeah.
Like the eye. I remember the one like when he's like Zim's trying to get the best friend. I think that's the same episode as the eye one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one fucked me up when I was a kid.
Yeah, I forget why he stole the kid's eyes, but yeah, he was trying to like make the kid his friend. It was like it was fucking weird.
He wanted the kid to be his friend so that he appeared human, but then the kid was too annoying. So he ripped the kid's eyes out and replaced them with robotic eyes so the kid would see this squirrel as him and would go bother the squirrel
yeah.
instead of him.
I remember.
Fuck me.
It's a fucking kids
Goddamn.
cartoon.
I love like this scene. It's like where Dib is talking to this. I think this guy's like a private detective or something, but he looks like a homeless guy, and like he talks to him in this restaurant. I forget what the context is. I think it's like he's some kind of conspiracy theorist. When the guy's about to walk out the door, he stops and he quickly reaches over, just grabs the receptionist and drags her out the door, and she's screaming, and the scene ends.
My God.
It's just like a quick thing, and then the scene ends, and we never see that guy again, ever.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I legitimately don't know how they got away with this shit. I really don't.
Some of those old cartoons, like, what the how?
I love the teacher, Miss Bitters, and Invader Zim, though.
She is great.
Yeah, honestly, like that's gotta be, if I had to pick, my favorite cartoon, like out of everything.
That's a very respectable choice. It might actually also be mine.
I gotta go with SpongeBob. I'm sorry.
SpongeBob is also quality.
Yeah.
I love that show too much.
That is like the classic answer though, and you definitely like are alone there. So yeah, yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'll take that.
There you go.
Yeah, you guys, you would never think, but behind the scenes, I was telling everybody, you know what? We talk about a lot of entertainment on this show, but usually we're talking about well, we've been talking about this episode, talking about TVs and movies. So I was going into it saying, hey, let's talk about something that isn't like TV and movies. Let's talk about amusement parks. Or let's talk about fucking, I don't know, camping. I don't know. And that has not worked out.
About 45 minutes in, we've completely strayed away from that goal.
It's so easy to talk about shows that we like, though.
I know, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was like, and now it's to the point where it's like, I still want to do the challenge, but like if we're 45 minutes in, it's like it's a little too late. So next time, or whatever the fuck I remember, we'll see if I remember. We'll do that little bit, but for now, enjoy more talk about cartoons and superheroes and others.
Next time, we swear we won't talk about TV. Pinky promise.
But I see, I'm fine with promising, except for the fact that I don't know if I'm gonna remember.
It is gonna be 2 weeks from now when this gets brought up again.
I mean, I can go into it now if you want.
I feel like it's better for the episodes. I feel like there's a lot to unpack in that topic.
Yeah. So we'll put it on hold for now, because I guess there's some shit I can get into. But yeah, for now, I hope you enjoy hearing about cartoon aliens eating people's organs.
Well, okay, so we have talked a lot about cartoons, but like I feel like we talked about a little bit, but like what are you guys' like favorite sitcoms? Like, because we always talk anime, we never talk live action on the topic on TV.
Well, I guess animation's easier for me to get into. I'll have to think about live action. If y'all can come up with something really quick, it'll give me a chance to think about it.
So, okay, first and foremost, let me just ask, what is a sitcom in this case? Does there have to be like an audience and canned laughter and like a set?
Like a sitcom is just a live action comedy.
Okay.
Because I have my favorite. I already know what my favorite is.
I mean, for me, it's tough because I think technically Psych qualifies as a sitcom.
Yeah,
it's like a drama. Yeah, but it's like a crime / kind of sort of drama sitcom. Yeah. I'll say that's probably my favorite, but I might hear one of you guys and be like, "Oh shit, no, that's my favorite."
Psych is a show that's been on my watch list for a while. It looked good, but I haven't got a chance to watch it. But I really want to.
Watch it. It's good. Anyway, what are you guys' favorites?
So my favorite, specifically the first 3 seasons, which people who know, they know, Arrested Development. I love Arrested Development.
Yes. Dude, you know how I just now said I might like switch over to what you said? Dude, real talk. I think I am. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
It's such a good show. Season 4 and 5 kind of tamper off after they brought it back, but seasons 1 through 3 are such good content.
Yes, I fully endorse everything you just now said, 100%.
And it's like, it's a show like every time you rewatch it, you'll notice stuff you didn't notice before, and it just makes it it's so much better because of it.
Oh, really? Fuck, I gotta rewatch it then. Jesus.
Yeah, like going up, like when Buster loses his hand, he keeps like referencing like hands, like building up to that point.
That's great.
There's like so many like little things like that. They just like slowly build one. It's so good.
Oh my god. Was that your one pick, or did you have any others?
I do have a few others. Arrested Development's probably like my favorite. I also really like I like Parks and Rec a lot, but I could not point to a favorite episode. But like, I really like Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. My takeaway though is freaking Ron Swanson and Andy make the fucking show for me.
They are
Like,
some of the best characters in that. I want to say all the characters are good in that show, except for
Yeah.
Mark, I think his name is, that the guy from season 1 no one remembers.
Yeah, him. I remember he had like the kind of long hair in the back, like the mullet.
Yeah, like he's like the character. People who love Parks and Rec, like there was like, oh yeah, like when he was in the finale, no one even like cared because no one liked him. He's just that forgettable of a character.
One thing I will say is Aziz Ansari's character is fucking irritating, but that's also kind of why I like him at the same time.
That's what, even like the annoying like the characters, like the characters who are annoying, like they're meant to be kind of annoying, but like you still can't help but like them.
Yeah, I know. Oh, fuck. No, that's a good pick. And for so long, I didn't watch Parks and Rec because I'm like, oh, it's basically just diet Office.
Season 1 is definitely Diet Office, and then they're like, once Rob Lowe and Adam Scott's characters come, it's like, okay, now the show can start.
Yeah, and I still haven't finished Parks and Rec either, so I got to get on that.
It's arguably one of the best like finales because A, it didn't suck, and B, it gave closure to a lot of stuff in like a good way.
Yeah. Vino, my opinion is you've got some great picks.
I think like the early 2000s, like Sosa Sada had like some like the best in content. I also like Community's another one I really really love.
Fuck, how did I forget Community? Okay, how did I forget Community? That's like.
Speaking of cartoons, like I stand by Community is the most cartoony sitcom ever made.
Okay, so you know how I said that like it was Psych, and then I said it was Arrested Development. No, okay, guys, for real this time, like for real, it's Community. It's Community, and then if I change it again, like you can just fucking kick me off the podcast. God damn, I could talk about Community all fucking day, but I do want to hear what Trevor has to say for his.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, mine is probably very different in the target audience age range.
Okay.
But my favorite sitcoms have to be Drake and Josh.
I knew it. I knew how it was going.
Yes.
And Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I love that show so much.
They are both. I grew up. Drake and Josh, like it's like a children's show, but it's like a tier beyond that. Like it's such a good show just overall.
Yes. Oh my, yeah. I mentioned I watch Family Matters with my friends. I still watch Drake and Josh with my friends too.
It's such a quality show.
Yeah, Drake and Josh is great. Ned's Declassified, I wasn't sure at first, but it has such a unique sense of humor, and when you get into it, it's really funny. It all grew on me really well. And neither of those shows really lasted too long. They kind of lasted as long as they needed to be, and then that was it. I really love them.
Yeah, one thing I like a lot, like going back to watching like old Ned's Declassified episode, is like some of the quote unquote like effects they use. Like the one you can very clearly tell it's just like a ragdoll like backpack. I still remember there's like one scene where like someone's like on a bike doing like fucking like spins, and there's just a ragdoll just flailing behind him, and it's so blatantly obvious.
I love it. I love Vice Principal Crumbs, and he's always taking off his sunglasses.
Oh my fucking god! No, I've seen a few episodes of Ned's Declassified. It's good shit.
Oh,
that's a good pick.
There is one It's so good. Like the little details are what make it so funny. So you remember you have that guy that's always happy-go-lucky, nothing can really get him down.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
another character in one episode who's always very cynical and depressive, and nothing makes him happy. And they're trying to cheer him up. So they pair him with that guy, and the guy has this pin on his shirt that's a smiley face. And he's just like, "Hi, I just wanted to tell you, everything is great. Despair, misery, sadness." I mean, and like he's going down this spiral of depression as he tries to talk to the kid, and in one of the camera shot switches, the smiley face is turned into a frowny face. It's on his shirt. I love the humor in it. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen a few episodes of Ned's Declassified. But one show I have seen that's also Nickelodeon that has like a similar vibe to it, is Big Time Rush.
Those shows
That's
are
like,
actually similar now that you mention it. Yeah, I can see
yeah, they have like the wacky sound effects and all yeah, exactly. Yeah, it might have been from like the same like
that.
director
It
or
actually
creative
is
team.
very I'm gonna look that up actually. That actually might be a thing.
Yeah,
Because the show and humor is
because
so similar. Yeah, you're right.
in terms of like technically like sitcoms that are like technically for quote unquote kids, I put that in massive quotes. Big Time Rush is probably my favorite. Yeah, I want to know if these guys have the same creative directors or same producers or something because they're so similar.
They all created by the same person, Scott Fellows.
Aha! I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Got your answer.
Makes so much sense now. And I will also say, Big Time Russ, one of the best TV intros. I'll say it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, no, Vino, like Trevor, your picks too. Both of you guys' picks are fucking awesome. Like, yes, I could not agree more.
Your picks are also awesome because they're similar with my picks.
I know
Almost
exactly.
identical.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like we agree on everything in this regard.
And we've all agreed on like every sitcom. Like, yeah, these are all really good shows.
See, at the very least, we tried to shake it up this episode by like talking about like fucking sitcoms and live action stuff a little bit here and there. So you know what? At least we're kind of pushing the boundaries.
Oh wait, wait. Before I can't believe I almost skipped over this sitcom, Malcolm in the Middle. Oh, that's a good ass sitcom. I almost completely forgot about it.
Dude, Vino, fuck you. You keep giving me stuff that I'm like, how did I forget that? And like, I'm like, I fucking love Malcolm in the Middle. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so growing up, my parents were really weird about stuff I could or could not watch. Like sometimes they'd let me watch stuff, and then other times they wouldn't. Like, this went with video games too. Malcolm in the Middle was one of those shows like that I saw maybe 2 episodes of, and then I don't think my parents let me watch it after that. So I never really got to experience it.
I mean, all I got to say is life is unfair. But I didn't grow up watching it either because I mentioned this before, but my parents were like yours, except even worse. They were like, okay, nothing. If it's on cable, unless it's SpongeBob, you can't watch it pretty much. So most of these shows I'm talking about, like fucking Big Time Rush, Malcolm in the Middle, all that, even Ned's Declassified, I watched this shit in my 20s.
I mean, it's so weird. Cause I was like, me and my parents, like, we would watch Malcolm in the Middle while it was airing. Like, it was like an event. Like, we'd all go in the room and watch like the new episode.
Okay, this has reminded me of something. Speaking of like, because you mentioned watching it with your family, I did that with shows with my dad. With my mom, I usually watched movies and stuff that we enjoyed. With my dad, we watched shows together, and one of those was Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
No,
we watched the heck out of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Now, I've never seen the old Space Ghost cartoons, but we
Nobody
both thought
has.
that show was funny. Well, we both thought it was funny. And I remember we watched it until one episode, they brought on a guest, and Space Ghost was like, "Tell me more about this sex." And then my dad's like, "We're not watching this anymore." So we didn't. And I just remember being really sad because we loved it. Like as a kid, that didn't mean anything to me because I watched Johnny Bravo and he said that people looked sexy, which meant they looked good. So I didn't understand when someone was talking about sex what that meant. I thought it was like similar.
Yeah.
I was confused about a lot of stuff as a kid, and I could never get a straight answer out of people.
With Space Ghost, I especially love the later seasons because it gets really fever dream like. Like I don't know, maybe because they're trying to appeal to like a more adult audience, but things just get fucking weird and no. Geez, you guys are just like all this shit I've forgotten. You guys are just unearthing it. So thank you. Thank you. But yeah, good shit. This brings back memories, and I also have shows now that I need to fucking rewatch, especially Arrested Development, because damn,
I
you
might
guys,
actually go back and rewatch that now. Now it's been because it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Oh man, but you know what? Hey, at least maybe you guys, the audience, didn't get what I was planning or what we were planning to provide you with. But you know what? At least I got show recommendations, and everyone got show recommendations, and yeah, be happy. And if you're not happy, dislike this video. Oh wait, I probably shouldn't have said that.
No, the algorithm.
I know the algorithm. We might not get. We might only get like 3 dozen views as opposed to 4 dozen views this time. Oh no.
Damn it.
Well, I need to promote it better as well. I've been slacking on that on my
Yeah,
end.
I haven't done like any, so like you're nothing compared to me, Trevor. But yeah, for those who are here though, thank you for listening. I want to say watching, but you've just been staring at a logo this whole time. So
True.
thank you for listening. Hopefully we gave you some recommendations that you can take advantage of. And if we didn't, then I want to say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, so fuck you.
We will catch y'all next time where we attempt to remember to talk about amusement parks.
We will try to not talk about TV for like the 4th week in a row.
TV or movies or whatever the fuck it is.
I'm gonna derail it right into video games.
Yeah. At least
All
it's
right.
not TV. It's jump right if he did that and winds up happening.
Exactly. See, that's a good way of looking at it. Let's look at this as a success. There we go.
We talked about something other than cartoons. That's just enough variety to give this episode a thumbs up.
There you go. There you go. So give this video a thumbs up and not a thumbs down, like I just now said.
Remember 5 stars on YouTube when it was the star rating?
Wait,
Dude.
there was? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the early
Yes,
days of
there
YouTube,
was.
It was 1 to 5 stars instead of just like and dislike.
Oh,
Wow.
dude, that brings me back. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
just saying, Google YouTube. The good old days.
Yeah,
Where
I
everyone
know,
got locked
I
into
know.
cinema contracts that was super shitty because it was the only way to make money making content.
But anyway, see you guys next time.
Dude, I also miss my
Bye-bye.
cinema. Bye, everyone. Yeah, I don't think we need to. What am I doing? What's wrong with me?
I don't know what you're doing.
Where's the stop button? There it is.